Hey everyone, while we wait for 4.2 let's try to fill in the void with some BFB Coliseum action, but this time I got something special. Apparently there's a new strategy being passed around that might actually be legit, and you're looking at it right now. Bomb, Mortar and Cobra, I never would have thought this loadout would work, but I guess I have to try it out first before I knock on it. Perhaps it's even better than the Dart Ace and Cobra loadout I have been using previously. So from what I've seen, this is how you execute it. You want to start out with a couple of 1-0 Cobras, because those will kind of act like your farms, but you also want to go eco right after because the income gain for Cobras is nowhere near as efficient as farms. I should note that the Cobra strategy works best versus people using farms. If they're sending balloons like this guy is right now, then you're in for a world of trouble because 1, you'll have to build more defense than usual, and 2, non-farm users will have an easier time versus balloon adjustment since they have one more tower to deal with them. That rule doesn't apply to this guy though, because he's using the ever so popular ninja and wizard combo. So keep watching to see him get completely wrecked by my Cobras, at least I hope. So yeah, it looks like he's got a Cobra of his own and he's already upgraded it to balloon adjustment, which sucks for me because these combo balloons are gonna hurt a bit. There are a couple weaknesses to this strategy, namely early game combo detection since you have to solely rely on the 3rd tier mortar. And even then it might not catch all the balloons, especially on a map like this where the AI balloons go in a big ass circle. Shame I couldn't get a useful 4th tower. I did get farm on my first roll, but I didn't want it because I wanted to try this strategy using eco. I'm not sure if 450 eco plus 3 Cobras is any good by round 13, but whatever. It's our first time trying this, so it should get easier as we practice it more, right? Let me just force out a boost real quick cause his defense is lacking. Hell yeah, I even made him sell his farm for balloon jitsu, so that was super worth, and at the same time I got my eco up to a flat 500. Okay, so at this point I believe what I do is spam the shit out of 1-0 Cobras in preparation for upgrading them later. But these damn AI combo balloons are annoying me, so getting a second signal flare might be a good idea. I have to be a little cautious because my opponent can counter balloon adjust me, so those 60 lives I have are absolutely necessary as a safety cushion. Alright, I think it's a good time to start adjusting. Round 17 is a weak round, so you never want to start then. 18 and 19 is where things start getting real. Holy shit though, I need more defense badly for these balloons. In fact, I think I'll have to boost just to save myself there. Meanwhile, my opponent just leaked a big chunk of lives, a good sign for me because wizard and ninja can only defend so much. Wow, I'm being way too greedy here with my defense. Losing to AI would be an embarrassment, so more cluster bombs are required. Shit is starting to get real cause he just sold his farm for even more adjustment Cobras. We got ourselves a battle here, guys. Round 22, holy shit, those ceramics were scary. Luckily I got a balloon impact in time as well as my final boost. But this should surely be the end of him, as that defense is nowhere near adequate for round 23. So far so good with this Cobra bomb mortar strategy, although I'll admit he wasn't the best player. Maybe Goku will give us a challenge. He seems to know me based on all those emotes he's spamming, but who knows? Shit, it looks like he's going eco, and if he is, that might be GG for me. Remember I said there were weaknesses to this strategy, not just necessarily in balloon popping power, but simply by your opponent having better late game towers. I reckon a good farm user could defend adjustments with the right loadout and ZOMG rush you on round 32 as well. So boom, so much for being a good meta strategy. This strategy mostly relies on your opponent not knowing how to counter it. In arenas like this you can certainly pull it off with success. Back to the game at hand. One thing that's nice is 1 cluster bomb plus 2 Cobras can easily defend up to round 10, with the Cobras knocking off the black balloon layer and the cluster bomb cleaning up the rest. making for a super cheap defense that allows you to get more eco than if you use dart monkeys. Now I can see why this loadout has gained so much popularity. We're doing much better this game with around 550 eco on round 11, but I'm very worried because Goku has the ultimate balloon adjustment counter over there with Ninja, Ice, and Mortar. Zero chance I can outlate game him there with all those slows. Meanwhile I got an extremely nerfed balloon chipper as my 4th tower that will be of little use. All he needs to do is build an ice shards or a big one and I'm fucked. So yeah, in case anyone decides to rush you on round 13, that is where your 3 Cobras come in handy cause all you need to do is sell them all and build a balloon impact, so you can easily get away with such a tiny defense for a while. Alright, let's skip forward a fair bit up to the point where I start adjusting. He doesn't seem to be building the towers I mentioned and is instead opting for balloon jutsus. A bad idea by him because that ain't gonna do shit when 100 ceramics come flying his way. Chipper isn't gonna be much help either, sir. You will need more group popping power. Still no ice shards or big one on his side. It's looking like a massive clown fiesta over there, guys. And he still doesn't understand cause he's going for another balloon jutsu. And boom, death. See what I mean? In situations like that you have to rely on your opponent being incompetent to win. It looks like we got a match against him again, so maybe Goku will learn from his mistakes and build popping power towers. Nope, guess not. He's going for an arguably worse decision in Dart and Farm, so this should be a fun one. The first match where it's truly Cobra versus Farm. The first game doesn't count because the guy went ninja and wizard, plus he didn't know how to build farms. At least my opponent has a clue this time. So you see, since he's going farms I can afford to get away with such a shitty defense, and this will allow me to skyrocket my eco like mad, stopping at a very solid 570 eco on round 11. Round 13? Doesn't look like he's going to send anything, so I guess it's time, so spam those sexy cobras. Damn, he just got a monkey ace, so that will render my balloon adjustments pretty ineffective, although he doesn't have it in the best position because the farms are blocking the way. I wonder why he didn't just place them in the bottom right instead of taking up such valuable real estate. But hey, silver lining. By building up balloon adjustments I get him to stop building eco and make him focus on defending, although at no point in the game was I even thinking about rushing him, so if I was against an extremely skilled player, he would probably build less defense early and get up a factory before I start adjusting. But now he's in a pickle because no factory, and even with all that defense he's still having trouble. Looks like he's finally going for a factory on round 23 now. Or not. Oh boy, an all-out rush. Let me show you how to defend, ladies and gentlemen. First off, sell the fuck out of your cobras and build a bunch of Moab Maulers and balloon impacts. All those cobras should certainly give you enough money to defend. Hell, I'll even boost just for safety reasons. Here's a lesson to everyone. Never rush with BFBs plus Moabs versus this loadout. It isn't gonna work. That rush completely drained his ego, so now Goku shall suffer a slow death by AI. Good game to him, valiant effort by him, but poor decision making was the deciding factor. One last game for today, and wow, we're against Tupac. I didn't know he played balloons, yet alone is still alive. Kappa. Jokes aside, he has a profile skin, so that means he's a pro, right? We shall see. Darting farm again. Perfect. Bonus points for being on a game because you need even more defense than the average map to defend balloon adjustment here, even with ace. And he isn't sending anything at me at all, so once again I can get away with highway robbery, slang for a crazy almost 600 eco on round 11. And if Tupac still doesn't feel like rushing you, then you know the drill, let the Cobra spam begin. He's looking royally screwed over there because he doesn't have enough to afford his factory, and that defense is seriously gonna pay the price this round. forces him to boost, as well as get up a monkey ace in the middle of the map, but even then, will that be enough? Certainly not without building anything else. He basically waved the white flag there with that random ice ability, lol. Good game, 4-0 today. Feels good to use a new strategy with moderate success, but the real test will come when I finally find a worthy opponent. Maybe I'll find a good game in both arenas today. So unlike what the title says, I wouldn't say it's an OP strategy, sorry for lying, but if you want to mix things up without hurting your chances too much, then this is a nice alternative. Cue the salty competitive players begging for Cobra nerfs now that I've showed this strategy to even more people. If the main reason for people hating this strategy is because you can't kill them till round 32, then blame Ninja Kiwi's current grinding system for rewarding quantity and quick games. So thanks for watching. Next video will either be more condensed gameplay or an update video depending on if it arrives by then. Have an adjusted day.